Welcome back to Weekend Movie Bros, where I am
Nice sing.
Jacob, eh, where I am Jacob,
Thanks.
and that, that is
There,
Idiot.
wow, that was the first time you actually really pointed at the center line. Good job.
That is Idiot. And we are Weekend Movie Bros. Hi, I just want to quickly disclaim that this is a unedited clip from our podcast me and Ray do here on Weekend Movie Bros, and I'm gonna link the podcast up above in case you guys wanted to watch the whole thing. We do mini reviews throughout that, depending on the movies that we see in theaters, and I figured I could make those into their own separate videos while still containing them to the podcast, and so that's what I'm doing. And so this one is coming from the podcast from the thumbnail that you guys can see, and we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the review.
John Wick Chapter 4 is my favorite movie of the year. Once again, March of the year hits me with the movie I constantly, and a 3 hour one again nonetheless. I absolutely loved this movie. This is the pinnacle, I think, of where action can go. I think it can go higher, obviously, but I think it definitely. It's a. Me and Jacob will just say this together. Paris. You
Yeah,
can't get better than Paris. You really, 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 really can't. It's truly incredible.
you
I
actually get
thought
mad because you wish that Paris is the whole
was
movie.
just
You
the
wish,
just the movie.
yeah,
Also, without saying anything, staircase. Just nuts. Just
just
nuts.
Paris.
Yep. I thought Hoke Sonata was fantastic. I thought Donnie Yen again fantastic. I can't wait to see what they do with him down the line if they do anything with him. I thought Bill Skarsgård was fantastic as the villain. And I love the fact that Keanu knows what this movie is now, and that he doesn't talk; he just kills people. And I'm like, good on you, John. Um,
Actually, sorry, not to interrupt your review because you can continue talking. I had a little thing to throw in there. Most of his
what?
lines got cut.
Which is just, I get it. It makes sense.
I
He's
just
not
find
there
it
to
funny.
act.
He
He's
didn't
not there to
know.
act. He's there to stunt.
He
But
walked
that's what I
in
wrote.
and walked out of the theater. He was like, most of my lines got cut. He was up out on the red carpet. He was like, I had no idea. And someone counted it. He only has like 312 lines out of the entire movie, which is really small for the length of the film.
But the main thing I want to talk about in the movie is the stunts. I really hope this movie pushes the Oscars to have a stunt category in this movie. I in the Oscars this year. I really, really, really do because the stunts in this movie are flipping fantastic. They are so good. Again, staircase. That's all I gotta say. I truly truly love this movie. I have no problems with this film. I think it runs really well. I think it's smooth. I think it goes from action sequence to action sequence very well. I think the pacing is really nice, and it kept it up. This gets a 5 out of 5. This is my I loved this movie. I can't wait to go watch it again.
I was not on the same boat, same wavelength. I would like to mention before I start reviewing John Wick Chapter 4, as I do think it's important. Okay. I had watched every John Wick up to this point in like 4 days. Like I watched every one a day type of thing. I don't really recommend that. I actually recommend like 4 weeks. You plan it Friday and you watch one, then two, then three, then four. You really need time in between because there's a lot of plot holes and a lot of things that don't make sense. World building that does not make sense. If you watch them consecutively, if you don't watch them consecutively, it's really cool. So that's why I said like what, maybe once a month. I don't know. You gotta put some time in between the films. That's a big part of my problem. My other problem is that I watch a lot of movies that are like John Wick. Sometimes down to a similar story to what John Wick is. And sometimes those movies are better than John Wick. Not to the height of like Paris. I think Paris is by far some of the best I've ever, some of the best action. But I cannot give a movie a 5 for Paris because Paris takes up anywhere between an hour and 10 to 50 minutes of the movie. I definitely rewatch Paris. I'll definitely rewatch parts of Osaka as well without giving any spoilers away for either section of those movies, just using broad terms here. I definitely would watch parts of both. I think story wise, I think Osaka was the more interesting angle. Action wise, Paris was the more interesting angle type of
So
thing.
Germany wasn't for you?
Don't get me fucking start. See, that's the problem. Germany, the first part of Germany, horrible. Hate it. Once again, gotta give yourself like a month, maybe a week or something in between, and you'll like Germany. The second part of Germany, the interesting part of Germany, why you would go and see Germany sequence. Zachary knows what I'm talking about. Once they sit down, that's what I'll say for that
That's
sequence.
so cool.
It's good. It's not great. It definitely could be better for multiple parts of it. Directing wise, I think it could be better, which is really funny because it's the same director who directed Paris, and you just really just can't believe it because like there's just parts where it's like this is not good, and then it's like how is that good? How is that like you are the baseline level for good of action movies? This is where movies need to be. They can't be because it's cost $100 million. You okay, babe? Okay. I don't know. And so yeah, so I just wanted to make that a preference. I think I'm winning at like a 3 for it, like a 3.5. I didn't really care for the story very much. I've never really liked John Wick movies. Zachary can contest to this. They've never been my favorite type of this type of action. Personally, for anybody's out there who's curious which one's my favorite, John Wick Chapter 3 was by far my favorite. Consistently, it worked from beginning to end. There's one bit in the very beginning with an action sequence that I thought was truly unwatchable. Oh no, that's the second one. Not even this one. Never mind. I take it back. Chapter 3, perfect. Chapter 4, not so much.
Halle Bailey. Halle Berry.
Another thing is I liked everything up until the very, very, very end. I think the ending is extremely fitting for the character. And that's all I'll say on the matter because I don't want to spoil anything here. I just don't know if it really worked for the movie that it presented. Also, the franchise that it presented. If this was like a one movie done, great. I agree. This is perfect. It's 4 movies, and I did the work. And I don't know. I feel cheated. That's all I'll say.
It's the ending of John Wick Chapter 4 is probably the most debated thing about this movie. Like some people love the ending and some people hate the ending. I love the ending.